Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about one of the things to declutter in your home that I can almost guarantee you probably have to do a bit of a declutter on, but it just seems so hard for some reason, and that is the jewelry declutter. With spring right around the corner, I've been thinking about the little nooks and crannies that I don't technically declutter all the time, but if you're looking for just a closet declutter, I will link up my latest one above, and I have recently gone through it all again. But if you're like me, let me show you these. You just have tons of these like little boxes all around, and getting your jewelry sorted can be such an amazing thing because I find that jewelry carries so much sentiment to it, and that can be why it is very difficult to get out of your space sometimes. So let's talk about a few tips on how you can declutter your jewelry today, even if it's a bit sentimental. So the very first thing that I suggest that you do is get everything out. Not only will this allow you to just kind of see everything that you have, but you can allow the comparison to happen too. There are some things when I pull everything out I see and I think, oh yep, that's my holiday jewelry. I love bringing that on a holiday with me. Of course I haven't worn it recently because it just doesn't suit the scene, but it definitely still holds a strong place in my heart. But then there are other pieces where it's like, oh, I don't know, I had that as costume jewelry in high school, or someone bought you a gift and you just never wear it. Those are the things we're going to cover. So the first thing, just lay every single piece out. And as well, what I like to do when I lay it all out is I categorize it. So I put together all of my earrings together in their respective pairs, necklaces, rings, etc. The next thing I want you to assess before we actually go in and start kind of removing pieces from our collection is assess how much space you have. I recently bought this, I want to show you guys. This is not a collab, I purchased my hard-earned dollars on this. It's this Majuri jewelry case. It's stunning, and I went in, guys. I did the whole monogram thing, and it's got 3 separate layers. So I said to myself, okay, since moving, I before had an IKEA PAX wardrobe system where it had the drawers, you pull it out and you could put your jewelry in, but I obviously don't have that system anymore, so I never really had a place to put my jewelry. I was just using these boxes that they came in, and the tough part about that is you don't really see your full collection, so sometimes when choosing an outfit, you may not actually choose the best piece for that outfit, which I know sounds insignificant, but I mean, come on. If you are dressing up these days, at least you can choose the right jewelry, something that makes you feel really good. We don't want to forget about pieces that we have ever within our wardrobe, our shoe collection, our purses, our jewelry. The most ideal scenario is we can see everything we have so we can choose the best for us. So assessing the size of actual storage that you have is amazing. Since getting that box, I knew out of all of my jewelry, I wanted it to fit in that box. I want a robber to be able to come into my home and steal that whole box and me be like, I'm starting from zero again. Just kidding, that would be a horrible scenario, but it did cross my mind. But seriously, just assess the amount of storage that you have, and that's gonna help you decide, you know, maybe being a little bit harsher or lenient when you actually are making your declutter happen. Number 3 is a 3-part mental assessment. So the first one is this my style? Looking at a piece of jewelry, you've got to ask yourself, is this my style now? Number 2 that you're going to ask yourself is, could I see myself wearing this? And sometimes we just hold on to things where sometimes we identify items with our fantasy self. I was recently watching a video from my friend Christina of Styleapotheca, and she did a declutter of her fantasy self, and I freaking loved it because it's so true. There are things that we hold on to that we were really only holding on to because we're gonna take a photo in it, or we identify with that item as being something or someone that we might wanna be, not someone who we currently are or the style that we currently follow. So I think that's really important to start decluttering out our fantasy self. So do you see yourself actually wearing this piece? And then number 3 is, do I feel comfortable wearing this piece? And I know I grew up going through the phase where costume jewelry was all the rage, like huge necklaces, huge earrings, and I am still on the big earring bandwagon, but not so much the necklace trend. I really like dainty jewelry, dainty necklaces, earrings, even rings sometimes. Earrings maybe is the only thing that I could see myself really pumping it up, and I will show you guys a couple of pieces from my jewelry collection currently, and you'll be like, yeah, okay, that's not dainty at all. But anyways, for yourself personally, do you feel comfortable wearing it? A part of that question is, does this give me good memories or bad memories? If you got a necklace or something from an ex and you like the necklace, but you're like, this gives me some bad energy, declutter it. Get rid of it, open space for something new, and just clean that energy out of your whole collection. A part of feeling comfortable as well is this the right size for me? Does this pinch me in any certain way? Does this turn my skin green? Does it give me a rash? Things like that. Try everything on. Sometimes when we approach our closet declutter, it can be a bit tedious because one of the best things you could do for yourself when doing a closet declutter is legitimately try everything on. Take off all your makeup, put your hair in a messy bun, and try on all your things and see how they make you feel. The exact same thing goes for when you're doing your jewelry declutter too, because there are some, I have some watches that my grandma passed down to me, and I've been holding on to them for so long, just waiting for the perfect time to wear them. And then I realized the other day that they are way too small for my wrist. And the biggest one I tried to wear all day, and it gave me a red mark around my wrist. That was so painful. So it's just not for me. And there are other pieces within things she passed down to me that I'm going to keep and hold on and wear and embrace, that I know are going to be just so much more meaningful to me. Number 4 is a loosey-goosey rule, and maybe if someone is watching this far past the year that I actually posted it, because number 4 is ask yourself, when was the last time I wore this? Now, 2020, 2021 aside, because we're probably not wearing our best jewelry out and about, you can still kind of assess from this. There are pieces in my collection that I grab for every single day. There is this one repertoire that I just circle around, whether it be my hoops, my gold knockers from Jenny Bird, a couple of Majuri pieces as well. I just grab for them every single day. And I already mentioned those pieces that I grab for when I go on vacation. But there are still some pieces in there that I just haven't worn in such a long time, whether 2020 messed up the timeline of that piece being worn or not. So that's a good question to ask too. The next one is, does it take upkeep, or could I give it a little TLC right now? When you are doing a declutter of your closet or your jewelry, something that I recommend is make time and space for when you put those things back in your closet or back in your jewelry box, that you are going to put them back looking their best. So if something needs a little TLC, or if something really requires a lot of upkeep and you know that you are just not that person who wants to upkeep a piece and it just tarnishes and tarnishes and just kind of keeps getting more grody, that might not be the piece for you. Does it have a matching set, and do you have both pairs? If they're earrings and you only have one and you're telling yourself, maybe I'm trendy enough to mix and match this single earring with another random earring, all the power to you. But the likelihood is, if you're missing a piece of it, it's probably not going to end up on your body on a regular basis, so it might be time to declutter it. Is how many of this do I actually have? If you are an earring fanatic and you love changing your earrings, or you love changing your rings, anything like that, you know what? There is no number. The limit does not exist.
The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist.
You are allowed to have as many pieces as you would like, but there comes a point where you're kind of maybe not serving the pieces that you would love to wear because you're just kind of getting swallowed up in everything that you've got. But a good question to ask is, how many of this item do I actually have? And by decluttering a couple of things that I kind of like, will I actually be emphasizing the things that I really, really love? If it was a gift and you do not like it, declutter it. You are not hurting anyone's feelings, and if you are, they've got to get a grip and pull up their ego socks a little bit. A gift is supposed to be something you love. A gift is supposed to be something for you that you enjoy, and if you simply don't enjoy it, then it's just taking up space, and someone else out there could be enjoying it much more than you. You could maybe return it if you've still got the tag, the bill, something like that. If you don't love something that was gifted to you, it's totally okay. I am giving you permission to get it out of your space. The last thing I will say in any decluttering scenario, whether it be coats, cleaning products, or even your jewelry collection is when you get rid of something, whether you're donating it or even sometimes jewelry is kind of a cool thing that you can DIY. I've seen a lot of really cool DIYs where you're not contributing to the landfill, you're kind of turning it into something else, like breaking it apart and making it a frame or something like that. But one thing I want you to keep in mind is you're not losing something. I used to declutter things and put them to the side and be like, hey, I've got to lose this, I've got to lose this. And the mindset was just wrong. Instead of me telling myself that I'm losing something or maybe I will miss something, I tell myself that I'm creating space. And whether that is just to have space for space's sake or space for something new and something that I love even more to come in, I just loved that mindset shift because it made me feel like by decluttering things that aren't necessarily serving me, I was actually serving myself. And also just kind of wrapping things up and coming back to the main point, it is so amazing to be able to see everything that you have. And if you've chosen a storage solution that can really serve you, opposed to just having all of your jewelry tucked away in these little tiny boxes, it's just gonna be so much better, I promise. Because you're gonna wear it more, you're gonna maybe keep it in better condition, and it's just going to do what jewelry is supposed to do, which is make you feel good. I would love to do a video in the future about showing you guys my full jewelry collection, as well as how to shop for really good quality jewelry. And also, one last thing I want you guys to keep in mind is it doesn't matter if you have a huge collection or a small collection. There are some just amazing pieces out there that you can wear every single day and they will just make you feel just as good day to day to day. And collecting jewelry or purchasing jewelry is such a long game, especially when you are starting to shift from more of the like costume jewelry stuff to actual gold pieces. It's just a long game, and when you start to get older as well, something that I've noticed is I've really started to focus on purchasing quality pieces versus just purchasing for purchasing's sake kind of thing. Especially when making that purchase, it's pieces that speak to me that I know can go in so many different scenarios in my life and in my wardrobe as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any tips about decluttering jewelry, especially when it is sentimental, I would love for you to leave a comment down below, whether you're going to keep it, turn it into something else, or just pass it on and take a picture. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.